So, all you lovely, beautiful people, turns out there's a lot of key swing states, and a lot of them are up for grabs. Some of them, including Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. I mean, these are going to be key battleground states, and it's going to be up to the Democrats supposedly to build their large coalition. So, what lies in store? So, first of all, recent polling is showing a big shift, and I think it's only fair that we pull this article up here from the Hill. So, Sunday show's preview. Harris gains on Trump in key states ahead of the DNC convention. So let's talk about it. The focus of this week's Sunday show will most likely focus on Vice President Harris' rise in polls as Democratic nominee in important battleground states against former President Donald Trump. Harris has had a whirlwind few weeks since President Biden exited the 2024 race, rising to the top of the Democratic ticket and selecting her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. In the meantime, she will be heading into the Democratic National Convention in Chicago next week with large amounts of enthusiasm in her party, mostly the diehard vote blue no matter who people. A quick turnaround, again, because of what we saw early in June. So recent polling in the New York Times found that Harris 4 points ahead of Trump in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, 5 points ahead of Trump in Arizona, and 2 points ahead of him in North Carolina. The polling also found Harris only 1 point behind Trump in Nevada and 4 points behind him in Georgia. With the convention in his home state only a few days away, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is set to appear on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday. Earlier this month, Pritzker said that DNC will be phenomenal and that excitement is palpable. Oh, great! The United Center, which is where the convention will happen, is being spruced up, looking terrific. Well, gee, how come you don't make it look terrific all the time? We have a few House representatives who will also be there as well. But again, folks, there's been a couple of things, especially in regards towards how each state will play a role. Case in point, the great state of Pennsylvania. So let's play this video here.
If you're the Trump campaign, Pennsylvania is absolutely critical. It's why you've seen the former president go there. It's why J.D. Vance will be there later in the week. It's why you'll see a lot of spending as well. Why is it so critical? Well, say Trump flips back Georgia, traditionally a Republican state, and not the entire blue wall, just one of those, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Look at that, 270 electoral votes. Now, if you're Harris and you're looking around right now and saying, well, I'm not sure if I can hold Georgia, the kind of Sun Belt states are very much in question. Take a look at this. Say Harris loses Georgia, loses North Carolina, as Democrats have the last 2 cycles, loses Arizona, and loses Nevada, but wins Pennsylvania. Guess what? She's at 270 as well. The blue wall is critical here, and that's why new numbers that have been coming out over the course of the last couple of weeks have been so critical. We're going to take a look at one set here, and that's the New York Times Siena College poll. Take a look back at May, when Biden in Pennsylvania was 37-41, Michigan 42-39, Wisconsin 39-40. Now look at Harris in August. Now, granted, still no clear leader. This is all within the margin of error, but the jump from Biden to Harris, 9 points in Pennsylvania, 6 points in Michigan, 10 points in Wisconsin. That is what's giving Democrats real hope that not just the Sun Belt states, which they feel now are very much back in play, unlike they were with Biden, but also that critical blue wall could be a critical component of a Harris coalition to 270.
Now, again, all this matters in regards to how many voters will turn up to vote. Vote, again, enthusiasm. Just like that scene from Untouchables where the great Saint Alphonse Capone was talking about how his organization is ran like a baseball team and people need to be enthusiastic. Well, again, if you know what scene I'm referencing, it didn't end up too well for the guy who was on his own program. However, folks, again, of the electoral vote, or be more precise, the electoral college vote that decides who becomes president, not popular vote, is going to be fundamentally important because if Kamala or Trump are able to get enough of their voters to turn out for Pennsylvania will go to them, and it'll be a critical state because those electoral college votes are oh so precious. But it will matter. It will matter in the long run. It will matter because, first of all, the Democrats, especially Kamala Harris, better hope that everything runs smooth for this convention. And it's really not going to be helping them out because today, and we will see how the speech goes, we'll see how on point he is. But I want to pull up this article here Because if you are the Democrats, you're going to want to make sure that at least Joe Biden is on point, because Biden's speech headlines DNC day one schedule. That's right. He's going to be the first one to speak. And every time Biden has spoken for these past 3.5 years, he's never once, not ever, made a stutter, never once stammered, never once looked confused or lost on a stage, never once made a fool of himself, never once revealed that he's maybe not up there mentally. But again, folks, as the DNC convention kicks off off Monday in Chicago, where the party is set to rally around its new presidential ticket after Vice President Kamala Harris officially became the Democratic nominee earlier this month. Again, gotta love democracy because she was selected. Less than a month after President Biden announced he would step aside, shaking up the presidential race, Democrats from across the country are descending on Chicago's United Center and McCormick Place for the convention, where the party will ceremonially anoint Harris and her new running mate as the party's nominee. Biden will be addressing the convention on Monday evening. Say it with me, folks. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong for the Democrats? What could possibly go wrong for the Democrats as Biden speaks? It's going to be funny. Now, maybe he'll just do a short 2-minute speech and fine, that's it. Anything longer than that, then oh boy, the Kamala campaign better start being a little afraid. But for all these key battleground states, when we look at states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, all of them, they are all going to play a role. But this should also make all of you upset, because at the end of the day, it's not the popular vote. It's not the will of the people. It's the will of the Electoral College. Other democracies, other republics don't have our system. Our system is severely antiquated. Our system is based on a previous system that was set up by our founding fathers. The Electoral College serves no purpose now. But if we really want the will of the people to be represented, then popular vote must supersede the Electoral College. But then again, we have a two-party system that's hell-bent on keeping tradition, because heaven forbid if they let the American people actually, exercise our vote, because if we exercise our vote, that means they lose their power, they lose their relevance, and you know what? They just can't have that. At least not anymore. My thoughts on this are going to be simple. On election night, each of you are going to have to make your own decision. And in all these key battleground states, just remember one thing. Once you cast your vote, it's over. It's out of your hands. Then it falls into the hands of the establishment. More of the same. And we can't allow that to continue on. We have to look at citizen ballot initiatives. We have to look at building movements and organizations not connected to DC. And we have to start supporting independent and third-party candidates. We have to break away from this system, because what we have doesn't work.